We've been to Italy, Bulgaria, Andorra and Sicily, and now we're in Portugal at the famous Portimao circuit for round 5 of the 2011 FIM Supermoto World Championship. Well, Portimao is located in the Algarve region, more famous for its holiday resorts and sailing locations. But this weekend we go to the Autodromo Internacional do Algarve, which is used to hosting World Superbike Championships. This weekend, though, it's all about the World Supermoto riders as they go to the track for the latest stage in this 2011 Supermoto World Championship Series. The first race of the weekend then is going to be the Open, and in the first moto it was Pavel Kmar, the Czech rider, who was victorious ahead of Teo Monticelli, Petr Voracek and Jan Dietenbach of Germany. Kmar also won the second race ahead of Monticelli. This time it was Alessandro Tognacini who was third. Well, this is the third moto of the weekend, and it was Pavel Kmar once again who took to the head of the leaderboard, closely followed by the number 72, Teo Monticelli. In third place was the number 13, that was Alessandro Tognacini, and just behind them the number 10 of Petr Voracek. And as you can see, the circuit here at Portimao, a lot more off-road section than we're used to seeing in the 2011 series. But up front, it was the number 14 of Pavel Kmar, who, after winning the first two races, was looking to try to make it 3 out of 3, but he was being made to work very, very hard by the number 72 of Teo Monticelli on the Honda behind him. And these two played cat and mouse in the early stages of the race. Eventually, Monticelli, our series leader, got a good slipstream and pulled out to go through and take the lead. And he stayed there for about 4 or 5 laps, always being pushed by our earlier race leader, Pavel Kmar there, number 14, just behind him. Well, then Monticelli went out. He made a mistake, lost a whole bunch of places, and that eventually left Pavel Kmar to cruise around. As he did so, Monticelli was fighting back through, and eventually, after making a move on Alessandro Tognacini, was able to work his way back up into third position behind Massimiliano Porfiri. But our race winner for the third time of the weekend was the number 14, Pavel Kmar. He won a first race in Bulgaria earlier on in the season, but this is his first overall victory with 3 wins as well. Monticelli second overall, Porfiri third, Voracek, Tognacini rounding out the top 5. In terms of the overall championship, Monticelli extends his lead over Kmar now, who moves to second. Tognacini drops to third. Porfiri is now fourth. Voracek is fifth. So that's a look at the podium then. Third overall this weekend on 56 points was Massimiliano Porfiri. Second was Teo Monticelli with 2 seconds and a third. And our overall winner, Pavel Kmar, taking his first overall victory of the season. Eric Logar, the UEM delegate, handing the red plate to Teo Monticelli. He continues to lead the series. Well, let's hear what our overall winner had to say.
For me, really, really great this weekend, because I go to track and winner every time. So I will really be happy.
Well, it was a great day for Kmar. He's going to be looking to France to try and do it all over again in a few weeks' time. Hey everyone, I'm Lorenzo Ventura. I'm the team manager of Suzuki Valenti VS Lux Performance. And this year we are taking part in the World Championship. We have the S1 riders, Edgardo Barella. And we also have Christian Ravaglia. As well as in the open class of the European Series with young Thomas Gori, who won the Suzuki Trophy last year.
questa gara del Portogallo andremo in Spagna.
After the Portuguese race, we'll head to Spain, to Alcanis for the Supermoto of Nations. I'm very happy and satisfied I've been selected for Italy because this is definitely a significant race, as it's always important wearing the national jersey. It's been a pretty tough year for me, as I've faced some problems to find the right setup of this new bike in the several tracks. But thanks to veteran Christian Ravaglia, who helps me find the best setup and improve my training, I'm working my way up at each race.
Modificare il mio tipo di allenamento, sto comunque migliorando gara in gara.
Our bikes are fully developed by our company, the engines, the technical aspects, and we also develop the chassis.
Dal reparto motore, dalla termica e anche i telai, li facciamo completamente noi dentro tutti gli sviluppi.
Amazing new location for the 5th round of the Supermoto campaign. Riders have never been here at the Portimao circuit, so let's try to understand if they already found some reference points with the Superpole leader, Adrien Scherer.
Hello everybody, yes, it's a new track for everybody today, but I like it because you have to adapt your riding and your bike in the first laps you're doing on the track. I really like this kind of track, not stop and go style. And for me, for my riding and for my bike, it's really good, and I hope I will continue like I did till now during the race.
In the S1 World Championship at the moment, Thomas Scherer has 255 points. He's 7 points clear of his brother Adrien Scherer, with Ivan Lazzarini in third and Manu Hermanen in fourth. But in the time training session, it was Adrien Scherer who was on top from his brother Thomas, and then it was Lazzarini third, Manu Hermanen fourth. Matt Winstanley taking one of his best qualifying for some time. He was down in fifth. Well, when the lights went out, it was the number 5 of Adrien Scherer who stormed into the lead, closely followed by the 131 of Manu Hermanen. Matt Winstanley getting a great start, the Great Britain riding there, number 251 in third position with that red helmet. Just behind him, the number 4, Thomas Scherer. And then we had the number 30 of Ivan Lazzarini. But in the early stages, Matt Winstanley was having a great ride, keeping the two fastest, or the 3 fastest riders in the world ahead of him. Of course, that would be Adrien Scherer here, number 5. Manu Hermanen in the early stages, the 131 on the Husqvarna. And then Thomas Scherer, but Matt Winstanley came out of the final corner, got his head down behind the handlebars and found a way through into second position, pushing the Finn, riding 131, back into third place. On the blue TM machine there, Thomas Scherer was looking anxious to try and find a way past the Finn. 131 on the Husqvarna as they battled over third position. Matt Winstanley was starting to pull away as well in the process in that second position. So Matt Winstanley really getting to grips with this Portimao circuit in the 5th round of the 2011 championship. Eventually, Thomas Scherer went through on that factory TM, and he was into third, going after the 251 of Matt Winstanley. This was the battle for second position. Manu Hermanen was being challenged, though, by the number 30, Ivan Lazzarini, for fourth position. So the Italian on that red HM Honda, the second rider in shot, was having to work extremely hard just to gain another couple of points in the standings. The 141 of Uros Nastran, he was in his own little battle. He was down in 7th position, challenging with Andrea Occhini, number 51. And then around the midway point in the race, Occhini grabbed too much front brake, lost the front end going into turn 1. He went down and took Uros Nastron with him. And both of those riders lost a couple of positions in the process. But up front and relatively unchallenged, the number 5, Adrien Scherer, eventually making it look very, very easy as he came out of the final turn. It was him who took the first checkered flag of the day. He won comfortably by 5.5 seconds over his brother, Thomas Scherer. Matt Winstanley on the podium. He was there in 3rd place ahead of Ivan Lazzarini. Manu Hermanen, he eventually dropped down to 5th. Then it was Uros Nastran, Alexis Marilus and Edgardo Barella. They were your top 8. But a comfortable win in the end then for Adrien Scherer as he narrows the gap to his brother going into the second race in terms of the points classification. Hey everyone, I'm Alex Serafini and I'm the team manager of TM Racing. Our squad is small, but it's made up by just 3 people, 4 including me actually. Riders are Thomas Scherer, we have 2 mechanics, Marco Della Chiara and Massimo Del Maestro. I decided to be team manager this year, while the last one I rode in the S1 series, but since the rhythm wasn't good anymore, I decided to do something else I like more instead.
Un granché, allora ho pensato di fare un'altra cosa che mi piace di più.
Hey everyone, I'm Thomas Scherer and I'm 23. I race for the TM team and it's my 2nd year with them. Well, so far this season has been really good for me. And well, the peculiar aspect is that the team manager, who is younger than me, but that's okay. I'm currently at the head of the World Championship with just a few points advantage over my brother, but this makes it difficult even because he's my brother. But the fight for the title is really exciting. I want to send a personal message to all the young riders who believe in our sport, the Supermoto. We keep it going and they should come and join us in the championship as it's an amazing sport that must be practiced from when you are young. Supermoto S1 race 2 and starting from pole position this time Adrien Scherer and Thomas Scherer, and the 2 riders went head first into turn 1, ran wide and took each other out, and that obviously then paved the way for the rest of the field. Matt Winstanley, the beneficiary of this particular incident, he'd got Ivan Lazzarini just behind him, and then once again, although it was Uros Nastran just behind him in 3rd place. So Nastran having a good start. The number 20 just behind them in the yellow was Edgardo Barella. And then we had the number 10 of Alexis Marilus down there in around about 5th place. Matt Winstanley, though, making full use of the opportunity gifted to him going through turn 1 as he started to pull clear of Ivan Lazzarini in 2nd position. Nastran was still riding bravely, though, in 3rd place, the 141. Alexis Marilus still trying to find a way past Edgardo Barella. A little bit further back, Massimo Beltrami was fighting with the number 9, Christian Ravaglia, over that 8th place. As our 2 championship hopefuls, Adrien Scherer and Thomas Scherer, battled through the pack. Thomas Scherer eventually up into 11th position, battling with Andrea Occhini. And Christian Ravaglia and going neatly up the inside as he took another position. This was a battle with Occhini and Beltrami, which Thomas Scherer eventually joined. And once he'd gone through on Beltrami, Thomas Scherer was then all over the wheels of Andrea Occhini, and he was able to turn the TM just that little bit tighter as he gained another position en route to scoring more points towards his championship campaign. So Thomas Scherer then, on that TM, had found his way ahead into 10th position, pushing Occhini back to 11th. But as the race went on, he was able to challenge Rivaglia, moved himself up into 8th place, and this was what it looked like on board with Christian Rivaglia as Thomas Scherer came steaming through at the inside in turn 1. Up front though, Matt Winstanley just holding all the tight lines, doing everything right. He was clear of this rider here, number 30, Ivan Lazzarini. Uros Nastran was still hanging on there in 3rd. As Rivaglia almost got it wrong as he charged down the inside, but made the pass stick there. Couldn't quite see who that was, but an aggressive move from the former motocross rider. 32, Elias Sammartin battling down there in the lower end of the top 10 with the likes of Adrian Scherer and Christian Rivaglia, but Matt Winstanley, what a day for him, taking his first race win since Greece at Port of Piraeus in 2006. Matt Winstanley on the SHR Honda 450. He takes a comfortable race win here ahead of Ivan Lazzarini. It's a Honda 1-2. Nastran 3rd, another Honda, and then it was Herman and Thomas Scherer, Fonseca, Barella, and Adrian Scherer down in 8th. So Thomas Scherer came through further up the field than his brother did, Adrian Scherer. But what a great day, what a great race for Matt Winstanley. I'm Ivelio Karanyotov. I'm the father of Angel and also his team manager. We've been racing in the World Championship since the first race, and I'm pretty happy that Angel is still there in 11th position in the standings as we reach round 5 of the championship at Portugal, as he is the youngest racer of the championship at just 17 years old.
Hi, my name is Smgp Karanyotov. I'm 70 years old. I ride World Championship Supermoto, and we're here with my father for 5th round of Supermoto World Champion, and I want everything to be okay. For this year, my dream is to be in top 10. The other rider, they're faster, they're stronger than me, they're bigger. When I was 3 years old, my father take me one bike, and from there I start to ride, and I never stop. This is my 5th year when I ride Supermoto, and I hope this year to be in top 10.
Let's see what happens next year. We'll be looking at taking the top 5 in the World Championship standings. The third and final race then for S1. Matt Winstanley starting from pole position, courtesy of that race win a moment ago in race number 2. And as we have been all weekend long, we're on board with Christian Rivaglia as he storms through turn 1 in the middle of the pack. Giovanni Bussai goes down though on the SBD Union bike machine. So he's got a long way to go. And I think he's had a tangle there with the number 5, Adrian Scherer, because Scherer is right at the back as well on this first lap. Up front though, Ivan Lazzarini leading from the 251 Matt Winstanley, who's there in second position. Just behind them, it's the number 4 of Thomas Scherer. Then we've got Manu Herman at 131, then Juris Nestran in 5th place. Down the start, finish straight. Lazzarini, Matt Winstanley, and the blue TM of Thomas Scherer getting very, very tight in on Winstanley as they go through the first couple of corners and into the sky zone. Lazzarini looking to pull away from Winstanley and Thomas Scherer. The three of them, though, Winstanley makes a mistake through that long sweeping left-hand turn. That opens the door for the number 4 of Thomas Scherer, who's now going after Lazzarini and finds a way through. So we've had 2 laps complete. And we have a new race leader, Thomas Scherer. Lazzarini now second. The 251 of Matt Winstanley is in 3rd position, and the 3 of them are still locked together, wheel to wheel. And we've still got Manu Hermanen down in 4th position as well. Juris Nestran is 5th. Just behind them is Christian Ravaglia. He's down in 6th place. Meanwhile, Adrian Scherer is now up inside the top 10, around about 8th place. So looking to try and claw back as many points as possible. Here's Winstanley going down the inside of Lazzarini and moves into 2nd place. So, lap 5. Matt Winstanley thinking about going after our race leader, number 4, Thomas Scherer. There is Winstanley. Thomas Scherer continues to lead on that factory TM. He's got a comfortable advantage over the 2nd place, Matt Winstanley. And here's Adrian Scherer going in on 3rd position on Manu Hermanen. And Adrian Scherer has found a way past Matt Winstanley as well to go 2nd. So, damage limitation then for Adrian Scherer, coming back from 16th to 2nd in the closing stages of the race. But it's a win for Thomas Scherer. Adrian Scherer has to settle for 2nd. Matt Winstanley will take 3rd. He'll win the overall Grand Prix as well. So the result then of race 3. Thomas Scherer leads or wins from Adrian Scherer. Winstanley 3rd, Manu Hermanen was 4th, had a Lazzarini, Nestran, Ravaglia and Alexei Marilous down in 8th. Overall Grand Prix winner though, Matt Winstanley taking his first ever Grand Prix victory. He's been in the championship since 2004 as well, so a good day for the Brit. Well, 3rd overall on 60 points. Adrian Scherer, that's him on the right as we look at it. In the blue, number 4, Thomas Scherer. He takes 2nd, losing out by just 2 points. Could have been so different had the 2 Frenchmen not gone out in turn 1 at the start of race 2, but you've got to be in it to win it, as they say, and Matt Winstanley was there when it mattered. And Matt Winstanley stands on the top step of the podium. He receives his trophy from the Mayor of Portimao. So a good day for the Brit. The red plate, though, belongs to Thomas Scherer as he continues to lead the championship. 10 points now the difference between him and his brother.
Yeah, the team's went real well. We got a good setup. To get the overall was real good for the team, and I'd like to thank SHR, Nick Cannings, Dennis Beatman for giving me the chance, and it's good to repay him with a win.
So Matt Winstanley wins the overall Grand Prix at Portugal. Thomas Scherer still leads the championship from his brother, so the French are 1st and 2nd. Lazzarini's 3rd, Hermanen 4th, Marilous is 5th. In terms of manufacturers, it's a narrow advantage. Just 2 points between TM and Aprilia, with Honda down in 3rd. Then it's a battle between Husqvarna, KTM, Suzuki and Yamaha, who are down in 7th. But this weekend, it was all about this guy here, Matt Winstanley. He took his first race win since 2006, and he finished the weekend off taking his first ever Grand Prix victory. What a day for Matt Winstanley, and what a day for British Supermoto as well. Well, that's it from Portugal. Join us next time. It's the Supermoto of Nations at Alcañiz in Spain. My name's Paul Malin. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.